What if you're a lonely guy who's obsessed with a certain game, and that day just happens to be a very special day for said game for some reason, and you decide to take pictures of cosplayers at a convention, with consent of course, and they're dressed up as your favorite character from the game. But one of these cosplayers just so happens to be one of your schoolmates, and the two of you decide that you're gonna walk around the convention together. I know it's a pretty short summary, but that's where I'm gonna end it. So, let's talk 215077, called Cosplay Encounter. It's from the artist Batsu. It's a cosplay sauce and it's got something about thigh-high boots, so let's get right into it. The doujin starts out with a shot of this guy talking about a special event for Heroic Blaze, then tells us what Heroic Blaze is and that it's a mobile game, and this event is just a fan event. Normally he's quiet at school, but goes all out on days like this, with his goal being to overdose on this character from the game. And at this con, there's a lot of people cosplaying her, which to him feels straight out of a dream. He walks up to this girl and asks if he could get a picture of her, and she agrees. But this girl asks if he's Otaki, and he's confused, asking if they've met before. Then it sets in that this is a girl from his class, Kikuchi. He thought she was just a normie, but turns out she's there cosplaying, and she's a fan of the game too, which is surprising since he never saw her as a type to be into gaming at all, let alone cosplay. She asks him what's wrong, and he stutters a bit before saying that he thinks she's normally very pretty, but also looks great in cosplay, before immediately backing down. But she asks him that since they bumped into each other, if he wants to walk around, and he says I guess. So she takes his hand saying let's go. And now he starts contemplating his choices about how he got into that situation, and how they're both surprised that they're both otakus. But he's fully enjoying the convention with his classmate by complete coincidence, and it seems like she's having fun too, even grabbing his arm and being completely oblivious to its position on her body. Though it cuts to the convention almost ending and the two are talking, he realizes that he didn't end up getting the picture of her, which then leads to her saying they should go do that now, and they head to a conference room for some privacy. He starts taking pictures and thinks that upon closer look, her costume is truly impressive and that she's really pretty. And it may be a bit late, but it's a very suggestive outfit. And also that holding this photo session in a conference room without permission is making his heart pound like crazy. But she notices something and points to the action he's got below his belt that he didn't notice since he was too into the shoot. So she pleasures him, but he asks why she would do all of this for someone like him, which it's all because she was happy that he complimented her. There wasn't anyone around who got her hobby, and the only person who's seen both sides and said they're both pretty was him. Plus they spent the whole day together, and she thought it would just end with taking photos. But when she saw his blood flow from him looking at her, a switch flipped inside her or something like that, and she immediately backtracks, and he says that he wants to see more of her cute side. She asks if he's sure, which he says yes, and she says if he's serious then she has no choice, and they continue. It cuts to them finishing up, and she scolds him for going too far. He's on his hands and knees apologizing since she was just really pretty. She huffs but says that if he'll accept to go out with both sides of her, then she'll let him off the hook. He says sure, and she says okay before freaking out after seeing the time, saying the locker room is gonna close. And the doujin ends with her threatening him, saying that if she goes home like this, then he's gone. Overall, I rate this a 10 out of 10. It's really good, but kind of suffers from how short it is. The characters were pretty chill, even if there wasn't a lot of interactions outside of this convention, and the art style was amazing as well. I recommend you check it out for yourselves as always. That's all I got. I'll see you in the next one.
Attack on Titan, Tokyo Ghoul. These hentai babes make me drool. Hasane Biku is great. She makes me masturbate. Fairy tale.